The door slammed shut behind me with a force that echoed through the empty apartment, but it was nothing compared to the storm raging inside my chest. I had just walked out on my family's annual gala, the kind where champagne flowed like water and deals were sealed with handshakes that hid daggers. My father's voice still rang in my ears. "Cassadiandra, you're 25. It's time to stop playing games and start acting like a hawthorn." But how could I, when every fiber of my being screamed against the life they had scripted for me? I tossed my keys onto the kitchen counter, the clatter breaking the silence of our shared Brooklyn loft. My roommate Jordan was probably already in her room, buried in her law textbooks or whatever armor she used to keep the world at bay. We'd been living together for 6 months now, ever since I answered her Craigslist ad for a quiet, responsible female roommate in this overpriced slice of New York. Quiet she was, cold even. Our interactions were limited to polite nods and the occasional rents-due text. But God, I couldn't stop thinking about her. Those sharp blue eyes that seemed to see right through me, the way her jaw tightened when she was focused, like she was holding back an ocean of unspoken words. It was pathetic, really, this one-sided pull I felt toward someone who barely acknowledged my existence. Why her? I asked myself for the 100th time as I paced the living room, my heels clicking against the hardwood floor. Maybe it was because she was everything I wasn't. Self-made, fiercely independent, clawing her way through NYU law on scholarships and sheer will. My life was a silver spoon fed by Hawthorne Industries, the family conglomerate that dominated tech in Silicon Valley, but had roots digging deep into conservative East Coast society. Dad expected me to take over the New York branch, marry some suitable heir, and produce the next generation of perfect little capitalists. But here I was hiding in Brooklyn pretending to find myself, while secretly volunteering at an LGBTQ+ center, terrified of what admitting my truth would cost. Jordan emerged from her room then, her hair tousled from what looked like a nap, wearing an oversized hoodie that swallowed her athletic frame. She froze when she saw me, her expression unreadable. "Rough night?" she asked, her voice flat, but there was a flicker, something almost like concern in her eyes. I laughed bitterly, sinking onto the couch. You could say that. Family drama at its finest. I didn't elaborate. Why burden her with my mess? But inside my thoughts swirled. What if she knew? What if she saw the way I looked at her, the stolen glances when she wasn't paying attention? Would she recoil like my high school best friend did when I confessed my crush? Or worse, pity me? She hesitated, then grabbed a water from the fridge. Want to talk about it? The offer was casual, but it hit me like a lifeline. No one in my family ever asked that, not really. They dictated, they judged, but they never listened. I shook my head, forcing a smile. Nah, it's just the usual. Expectations versus reality. But as she nodded and retreated back to her room, I felt the weight of my silence pressing down harder. How long could I keep this up? Pretending to be the straight-laced daughter while my heart betrayed me every time Jordan walked into the room? The next morning, I woke to the smell of coffee brewing. Unusual, since Jordan was usually out for her run by dawn. She was at the counter pouring 2 mugs. "Figured you could use this," she said, sliding one toward me without meeting my eyes. I took it, our fingers brushing accidentally. A spark shot through me, but she pulled back quickly. "Thanks," I murmured, my mind racing. Was that nothing? Or was I reading too much into it? Desperate for any sign that this wasn't just in my head? We sat in awkward silence, sipping our coffee. "So what's the family deal?" she finally asked, her tone probing but not pushy. I sighed, deciding to test the waters. There. Traditional. Dad's all about legacy, marriage, kids, the whole package. But I'm not sure that's me. My voice cracked on the last word and I cursed myself for it. She raised an eyebrow. Not sure? Or not at all? Her directness caught me off guard. Not at all, I admitted, my heart pounding. But saying that out loud, it could destroy everything. Jordan set her mug down, her expression softening just a fraction. Destroy what? A life you don't want. Her words hung in the air, challenging me. Inside, doubt gnawed. Was she just being a good roommate, or did she understand more than she let on? I wanted to believe the latter, but fear held me back. What if opening up ruined this fragile coexistence? As the day wore on, I threw myself into work at the center, counseling teens who were braver than I ever was. One girl, Mia, shared her story of coming out to her parents, rejection, tears, but eventual acceptance. "It hurts," she said, "but living a lie hurts more." Her words echoed in my mind on the subway ride home. Living a lie. That's what I was doing, not just with my family but with Jordan. That evening she was cooking, another rarity. Stir fry, she offered, plating some for me. We ate at the table, the first real meal we'd shared. Conversation flowed easier than expected. Her upbringing in a small Midwest town, escaping a controlling father who disowned her brother for being gay. "Family isn't always blood," she said quietly. "Sometimes it's the people who choose you." My pulse quickened. Did she know? Was this her way of hinting? But I couldn't ask, not yet. Instead, I shared bits of my own story, skirting the edges of my sexuality. By the end of the night, as we washed dishes side by side, I felt a shift. Maybe this wasn't one-sided after all. But doubt crept back as I lay in bed. What if I was projecting? What if pursuing this meant losing the only safe space I had? The internal battle raged. Safety versus truth, heart versus head. And deep down I knew the choice was coming, whether I was ready or not. The following week blurred into a haze of tension, each day building on the last like storm clouds gathering. Jordan's small gestures, coffee in the morning, a shared laugh over a bad movie, chipped away at my defenses, but they also amplified my inner turmoil. Why now? I wondered obsessively. Was she warming up? Or was I just seeing what I wanted? Every interaction felt loaded, a potential minefield where one wrong word could expose me. At work, the center was buzzing with preparations for Pride Month events. I volunteered to lead a workshop on family acceptance, irony biting at me like a venomous snake. How could I preach what I couldn't practice? During a planning meeting, my colleague Sarah pulled me aside. "Cassidy, you seem distracted. Everything okay?" I forced a nod. "Just family stuff." But inside, the conflict boiled. "Hypocrite. You're helping others while hiding yourself. What kind of role model are you?" That night, Jordan came home late, her face drawn from a long study session. She collapsed on the couch, rubbing her temples. "Exams are killing me," she muttered. I sat beside her, closer than usual. "Need a break? We could order pizza." She smiled faintly. "Sure. Pepperoni." As we waited for delivery, she opened up more. About her ex, a guy from college who cheated, leaving her wary of relationships. "Trust is everything," she said, her eyes distant. "Once it's broken, it's hard to rebuild." My stomach twisted. Was this a warning? Or an invitation to share? I took a breath. I've never really dated much. Family pressure, you know? She turned to me, really looking. Pressure to what? Be someone you're not. Her perceptiveness unnerved me. Yeah, they want the perfect daughter. Straight, successful, married off. The word straight hung there heavy. Jordan didn't flinch. "And you're not." My heart hammered. This was it, the moment of truth. "No," I whispered. "I'm gay." Silence stretched, agonizing. Then she nodded slowly. Okay. I echoed, disbelief mixing with relief. "Yeah, thanks for telling me." Her tone was neutral, but her eyes held something warmer. The pizza arrived, breaking the spell, but the air between us had changed. As we ate, she shared more. Her brother's story, how she'd supported him against their father. "It cost me my relationship with Dad, but it was worth it. Hiding who you are. It's soul-crushing." Her words resonated, stirring a whirlwind inside me. Worth it? Could I say the same? The thought of confronting my family terrified me, losing the inheritance, the connections, the safety net. But staying silent meant losing myself. Over the next days, our dynamic shifted subtly. Jordan lingered in conversations, her touches accidental but lingering. One evening, as rain pounded the windows, we watched a documentary on LGBTQ+ rights. During a scene of a protest, she said, "Brave, huh? Facing the world like that." I met her gaze. "I wish I had that courage." "You do," she replied softly. "You just haven't used it yet." That night, alone in my room, doubts assaulted me. What if she's just being supportive? What if I misread and ruin everything? But beneath the fear, hope flickered. A dangerous, intoxicating hope. The turning point came at a rooftop party thrown by mutual friends. Jordan invited me along first. Amid the crowd, laughter, and city lights, she stayed close. When a guy hit on me, she stepped in smoothly. "She's with me," she said, her hand on my arm. Later, on the fire escape, away from the noise, I confronted her. "What was that?" She shrugged, but her cheeks flushed. "Didn't like how he was looking at you." My breath caught. "Jordan, do you?" She looked away, vulnerability cracking her facade. "I don't know, Cassidy. I've been fighting it. Relationships complicate things, law school, my past. But you're different." The admission hit like lightning. We stood there, inches apart, the rain starting to fall. Then she leaned in, her lips brushing mine in a tentative kiss. It was soft, electric, everything I'd imagined and more. But as we pulled back, reality crashed in. What now? This wasn't just about us, it was about the worlds we came from. My family would never accept this. And Jordan, her career ambitions, her own scars. Was this worth the risk? Guilt gnawed at me on the way home. I dragged her into my mess. What if I couldn't commit? What if fear won? The internal war intensified. Desire versus duty, love versus legacy. And as we entered the apartment, hand in hand, I knew the real storm was just beginning. The kiss lingered in my mind like a forbidden secret, sweet yet poisoned by the shadows of consequence. In the days that followed, Jordan and I navigated this new territory with cautious steps, stolen moments in the apartment becoming our sanctuary. But every touch, every whispered word, amplified the voices in my head. "Traitor. You're betraying your family. What would Dad say if he knew?" I pushed the thoughts down, focusing on the joy, the way her laugh lit up the room, how she challenged my views on privilege. "You've got everything handed to you," she said one night, not accusingly but pointedly. "But you're still trapped. Why not break free?" "Because it's not that simple," I snapped, frustration boiling over. "Losing them means losing everything. My future, my security." She softened. "Is that future really yours? Or theirs?" Her question haunted me. At the center, I saw mirrors of my struggle in the kids I helped. One boy, facing disownment, asked, "Is love worth the pain?" I parroted platitudes, but inside hypocrisy burned. Who was I to advise when I hid behind closed doors? Tension escalated when my sister, Emily, called. "Dad's planning a family retreat. You need to be there. Bring a date if you want." Her tone implied expectations. A suitable man. I panicked. "I'm busy." "Cassidy, don't flake. Mom's worried about you." Hanging up, I confided in Jordan. "They'll never understand." She held me. "Maybe they will. But you have to try." Her optimism clashed with my fear. What if trying destroyed us? That night, as she slept beside me, I lay awake, mind racing. Am I using her as an escape? Or is this real? The doubt festered, turning tender moments bitter. A week later, betrayal struck unexpectedly. Jordan's phone buzzed while she showered. I glanced instinctively. A text from her study partner. "Last night's kiss was amazing. When's round 2? My world shattered. I confronted her, voice trembling. "Who is she?" Jordan's face paled. "It's not what you think. We were drunk studying late. It was a mistake." "A mistake?" I echoed, rage and hurt colliding. "After everything?" She reached for me, but I pulled away. "I was scared, Cassidy. It's intense. I messed up." Her admission fueled my inner chaos. "See? You can't trust anyone. You're a fool for hoping." I stormed out, wandering the streets, tears mixing with rain. How could she? But deeper self-blame surged. Maybe I pushed too hard, revealed too much. Returning hours later, we argued fiercely. "You talk about trust," I yelled. "But you're the one hiding." "I'm sorry," she pleaded, tears in her eyes. "I love you, Cassidy. That's why it scares me." Love. The word hung, a lifeline amid the wreckage. But forgiveness? It demanded I confront my own flaws, my hesitation, my secrets. The next day I called Emily, testing the waters. What if I brought someone? A woman? Silence then. Cassidy, are you serious? Dad would freak. Her reaction confirmed my fears. Forget it, I muttered, hanging up. Jordan found me crying. We'll face it together, she said. But doubt lingered. Together? After her betrayal? The moral quandary tore at me. Was staying a sign of strength or weakness? Forgiving her meant risking more pain, but leaving meant surrendering to isolation. As Pride approached, I decided to attend the parade with Jordan. It was my first public step, hand in hers amid the crowds. Euphoria mixed with terror. What if someone saw? But in that moment I felt alive. Yet the high crashed when a photo surfaced online, us kissing at the event. Tagged by a friend, it spread like wildfire. My phone exploded with messages. Emily. What the hell? Dad. Call me now. Panic set in. This is it, I told Jordan, voice breaking. Everything's over. She held me tight. Or it's just beginning. But inside the storm raged fiercer. Right or wrong? The choices I'd made, loving her, forgiving her, would they redeem me or ruin me? The weight of it all pressed down, heavier than ever, as I prepared for the confrontation that could shatter my world. The fallout hit like a hurricane, tearing through every corner of my life with merciless force. Dad's call came first, his voice a thunderclap of fury. Cassidyandra, explain this nonsense. Is this some phase? A rebellion? I gripped the phone, Jordan beside me for support. It's not a phase, Dad. I'm gay. And Jordan. She's my girlfriend. Silence, then explosion. Absolutely not. The Hawthorns don't indulge in this lifestyle. Think of the board, the investors, our reputation. His words sliced deep, confirming every fear. Reputation over your daughter? I shot back, voice cracking. You're choosing this over family? Fine. You're cut off, funds, access, everything. The line went dead, leaving me numb. Jordan hugged me, but her touch felt distant. We'll figure it out, she whispered. But could we? Inside, guilt consumed me. I dragged her into this abyss. And her betrayal still lingered. A shadow I couldn't fully shake. Was this love or mutual destruction? Emily arrived unannounced the next day. Her face a mask of concern and judgment. Cassidy, what are you doing? Mom's devastated, crying all night. I introduced Jordan, tension thick. Emily eyed her warily. So this is her. Jordan stood firm. Nice to meet you. The conversation devolved quickly. Dad's serious, Emily warned. He's rewriting the will. And the media reporters are calling about the Hawthorne heiress's scandal. Scandal. The word burned. It's not a scandal. It's my life. But it's our life too, she countered. Your choices affect all of us. Her point struck home. Igniting moral turmoil. Was I selfish? Prioritizing my happiness over family stability? The debate raged internally, duty to blood versus duty to self. Jordan intervened. Family should support, not control. Emily scoffed. Easy for you to say. You don't know our world. The argument escalated, voices rising. You're throwing away everything for what, a fling? Emily accused. It's not a fling. I yelled, defending us, but doubt whispered, is it? After her mistake, could I trust fully? Emily left in tears, pleading. Think about Mom. This could kill her. Alone with Jordan, I broke down. What if she's right? What have I done? Jordan's eyes filled with regret. I'm sorry for everything, the kiss with her, pulling you in. But I love you. We can build our own life. Her words offered solace, but the price loomed. Poverty, isolation. I applied for jobs outside the family empire, facing rejections tied to the scandal. Friends distanced themselves, whispers of betrayal echoing. One night, overwhelmed, I lashed out at Jordan. This is your fault too. If you hadn't cheated. She flinched. I know. But punishing me won't fix this. The fight exposed our fractures. Her fear of commitment, my resentment. We reconciled in tears, but the damage deepened. Inside, I questioned everything. Was forgiveness a mistake? Was love enough to justify the wreckage? Society's judgment piled on. Online trolls, judgmental stares at the center. A client even asked, how can you help us when your own life's a mess? Hypocrisy stung anew. But it also sparked awakening. Pain forged resilience. I organized a support group for those facing family rejection, channeling my turmoil into action. Yet, the ultimate test came at the family retreat. I showed up uninvited, Jordan by my side. Dad confronted us in the opulent Hamptons estate. Leave or security will escort you. Mom watched silently, eyes pleading. I won't hide anymore, I declared. Accept me or lose me. Dad's face hardened. Then you're lost. As we drove away, heartbreak crushed me. Jordan squeezed my hand. You were brave. But bravery felt like defeat. The internal reckoning intensified. Right choice? Or irreversible error? The emotional toll mounted, heavier with each mile. As I grappled with the ruins of my old life and the uncertain promise of a new one. Rebuilding from the ashes demanded every ounce of strength I had left, but the scars ran deep, etching doubt into my soul with every passing day. Jordan and I moved to a smaller apartment in Queens, scraping by on her part-time clerking and my new job at a nonprofit. The glamour of my old life faded, replaced by budgeting spreadsheets and late-night worries. We made it through the worst, she said often, but her eyes betrayed exhaustion, the weight of my family's rejection bleeding into our bond. Inside, resentment simmered. Why did I have to pay this price? For love that started with betrayal? Nights found me staring at the ceiling, replaying Dad's words. Was he right? Had I thrown away stability for illusion? A call from Mom shattered the fragile peace. Cassidy, I miss you. Dad's stubborn, but I want to understand. Hope flickered, but caution held it back. And Jordan? Pause. Bring her. Let's talk. The meeting was tense in a neutral cafe. Mom hugged me tightly, tears flowing. I didn't know how much you were hurting. Jordan sat quietly, offering support. But when Mom asked, how did this happen? Defensiveness rose. It didn't happen. It's who I am. Mom nodded slowly. Your father. He's from a different time. The church, the expectations. Her words humanized him, stirring conflicted empathy. Villain or victim of his own upbringing. The moral gray deepened. Forgiveness for them as I'd sought for Jordan? But Dad refused to budge, his silence a wall. Emily mediated, revealing her own struggles. I envy your courage, Cassidy. I've hidden things too. Her confession bonded us anew. But the family fracture remained. Society's backlash intensified. Lost partnerships at the center, judgmental articles labeling me the fallen heiress. One headline screamed, Hawthorne scandal. Love or rebellion? The scrutiny amplified my inner voices. Rebel or fool? Each decision haunted. Forgiving Jordan, defying Dad. Was the pain worth the growth? Jordan's own demons resurfaced. I almost left law school, she confessed one night. The stress, the guilt over hurting you. Don't, I urged, but fear gripped me. What if she did? Our love, tested by fire, felt fragile. A pivotal moment came at a community event. I spoke publicly about my journey, betrayal, loss, awakening. The audience's applause healed something, but a heckler's shout, "You're destroying traditions," reignited doubt. Back home, Jordan proposed, "Marry me, Cassidy. Let's build our future." The ring, simple and earnest, symbolized commitment. But hesitation struck. After everything, was I ready? The internal battle peaked. Trust versus trauma, hope versus history. I said yes, tears streaming. Yet, as we planned a small ceremony, shadows loomed. Absent family, lingering resentments. Mom attended secretly, a quiet victory. "I'm proud," she whispered. The wedding was intimate, vows raw with emotion. "I choose you, flaws and all," Jordan said. "And I you," I replied, meaning it despite the ache. But post-honeymoon reality bit. Financial strains led to arguments. "We could have had more if you'd compromised," I snapped once, regretting it instantly. Jordan's hurt eyes mirrored my guilt. "Is that what you want? To go back?" "No," I lied, but the thought tempted, safety over struggle. Therapy helped unpack it, my therapist probing. "What price are you willing to pay for authenticity?" Everything, I realized. The awakenings accumulated. Betrayals taught resilience, losses birthed freedom. But the costs, fractured family, scarred heart, begged the question. As we lay together one night, Jordan asked, "Regrets?" "Some," I admitted. "But not you." The journey's end wasn't tidy. It was ongoing war with self and society. Dad's eventual olive branch. A terse email hinted at change, but trust rebuilt slowly. In the quiet moments I reflected. The choices, loving despite betrayal, defying norms, defined me. But were they right? Was sacrificing family legacy for personal truth ultimately selfish, or the bravest act of all?